SoCal 1, Utah third, Utah football fourth.
SoCal deferred. Utah will receive. Utah defend the south end of the field. Then SoCal, the north. Start this game.
Welcome back to Naples, the Paradise Coast Sports Complex Stadium. Tonight, not how the West will be won. That's true. But how the FBU 8th grade national championship will be won. Utah and SoCal to conclude championship week. Neil Sika, FBU All-American Bowl director Anthony Williams here to have some fun. Hope we have what we got to close the 7th grade edition. Overtime and a classic won by Central Florida over Ohio. But here Utah, much of this team, Anthony, returns from last year. 7th grade champs trying to go to 8th. That's only happened on 3 different occasions within the program and the history of the FBU National Championship. And then SoCal, Freddie Arteaga brings in this group. And they've got the FBU National Player of the Year in Prentice Jones Jr., amongst others. Should be a great game.
Yeah, one thing about Utah, they're bigger, they're stronger, and they're more physical than last year. SoCal, lots of great skill position talent. This is going to be a great game, very entertaining.
Ready for kickoff, Jace Lockett. After SoCal won the toss and deferred, Lockett sets the tone with the kick away from Foul Moina. And it's taken by Utah, and they're out over the 30 to the 31. Hard running from Hayden Jarvis. He's one of the new additions to the group. A slash and gasher to the backfield. The offense comes out. The offensive line and their size speaks for themselves, but they've got some bruisers in that backfield. The two-headed monster. When you get into the running game, and then the quarterback, Rigby Young. And Young, the team director, boy, they have flourished under his leadership and the coaching staff in general. Pistol look to start. Utah dominating Dallas in the semifinal. First play in the middle, though, is blown up. There's nowhere to go on that run. Jalen Jones, one of the premier defensive players, he's also a great running back, stepped into the hole to make the tackle.
A very solid tackle, Neil. That is textbook tackling. Hit, wrap, and drive, wrap him up, drive the ball carrier to the ground.
But personal foul, driving with the helmet. I don't necessarily know if that's in line with what we saw, but Utah is going to get the benefit of the call to take him out to the 49.
I'm going to stand by my call. That was still a very sound fundamental tackle. I don't know what happened there. But
we're a team. I'm with you.
What are we doing?
And 15-yard penalty on Utah. Illegal helmet contact.
Or were they making, that was announced wrong by the public address, or maybe they signified that wrong.
Happened when the player was on the ground. We're hearing it from the officials.
So it is on Utah after all. You were right in your analysis, and it's a post-foul penalty, 15 yards the other way. So the jubilation of thinking that Utah was going to benefit, they do not. And now pinned back at the 20-yard line. Need to get out to the 44. And the snap with Rigby Young keeping. Rigby Young to the outside. And he got a big portion of that penalty back. Rigby Young with a great run to start it off.
Great zone read there by Rigby, great read. Saw the D in, crashed as if he had given the ball to the running back. He pulls it, it's got the whole edge to get to, makes a big gain there. Great call by him.
They got that backfield I mentioned with Stein, Bubby Keogh, he's a bruiser. Mentioned they added Hayden Jarvis. But they've also got Kyle Prom, who's the fast, hard cut runner. He's in the backfield now with Young. On second and what becomes 6. Young on the rollout. Young again using the legs. That's where he is just a difference maker. Say two-headed backfield. Add Young in there because he's not a bologna sandwich. He makes plays with his feet.
Yes, he does. Great read there. Great job by your line. Fans watching this game, keep an eye on the line of scrimmage. You're going to see some great battles here. Utah has a very strong and physical offensive line. SoCal has a very strong and physical defensive line, and they're going to decide who ends up winning this game.
1,500 pounds on the offensive line between the 3 players and 3 returners up top. On 1st and 10, they get out of jail essentially on what was first and forever after the 2 runs by Rigby Young, but that's a tough run in the middle and not much there for Prom. He got a yard. Defense that's got McCuffey. I already saw Jones. Faumina for this SoCal team. Darnell Lacey, their best corner. 2nd and 9. Young to throw. With time, got hit. Tossed it up. Got his man. Down inside the 10. 1st and goal. Legend Toilolo.
We all see the pass. Watch the hit he take. Rigby stood in there and took a shot and still delivered the ball on time and accurate. Great play by Rigby on that throw.
S.J. Fanua, the one returning receiving threat, but this is a pretty new set of weapons across the board in the passing game for Utah.
Yeah, they're not just a run-heavy team. They're very well balanced, very well coached. They execute really well. They don't hurt themselves, so this will be a very good battle here.
Legend Toilolo with the big reception. And Utah in business at the 11 of SoCal. Opening possession of the 8th grade national championship. Fonua motions. They come back to the near side. On the run, Jarvis took a hit, driven back. And SoCal, well, they're trying to figure it out. They can pack a punch with some of these tackles. Kingston Jimerson, number 99 on the left side of your screen with the tackle for SoCal.
Yeah, Jimerson's got very great hands, quick hands. He's physical, knows how to finish runs. He'll be a problem today. To keep an eye on him today. That's a great play by him, filling the hole.
Zach Olson, the lineman, checks in. The Utah front, they got the big runs from Rigby Young. Then they hit the pass over the top. Now they've got 2nd and 9 at the 11. Snap is high. The run is to the middle. And there is not much inside. Princeton Charleston gets Bubby Keogh right in his tracks. 3rd down and 9. They get a 1st and goal inside the 2.
Like I said, Utah very balanced here. I expect him to throw the ball here, either off the RPO or into the flats here. Keep an eye on their quarterback, Rigby. He makes great decisions as a quarterback.
The dual threat quarterback Not afraid to mix it up with the run or the pass. Comes into trips with the pistol. Young on the move to the outside. Rigby Young is inside the 10, down around the 5. It will bring up 4th down and about 3. Well, I've got a good kicker in Andrew Workman, and they're not wasting any time. They're bringing him on.
Yeah. Workman's been consistent, has a big leg. They can tell they spend time in this in practice. Look for this team to have a great snap, a great hold, and hopefully a successful kick.
The ball is roughly around the 6. About a 22, 23-yarder for Workman. Cal Prom is the holder. Where's 22? Workman from 22. Bang.
Impressive.
Utah 3, SoCal nothing on the opening drive of the football game that took up almost 6 minutes in this first quarter for the defending 7th grade national champs, now rising up and trying to win that elusive 8th grade title. This is the marquee game, middle school national championship, the premier event in youth football, Football University. And for a Utah program, which about a decade ago, Anthony, they made their way on the scene, managed to get to a national championship and lost to a South Florida team that had James Cook on it.
Yep.
But then you kind of recalibrate the program and the old school mentality with some of the new school wrinkles, but they'll beat you up front with their size and their physicality, which they did last year on the way to the crown in 7th grade.
Yeah, Neil, I'm still adjusting to not having a Georgia or Texas-based team or Florida-based team in the 8th grade championship. It's kind of nice being a West Coast guy, California native, living in Texas. I'm happy for these West Coast kids.
This is the new reality. I haven't seen a GFL team in the title game in 3 years now. Utah and Ohio have made the mark. The kick is bobbled after Workman sent it down. A big pop laid on Linalda Corley Jr. He maneuvered it out over the 30 to the 32. So decent starting field position. And now you get that SoCal offense for the first time with Prentice Jones Jr., who wears number 1. He's lined up in the receiver spot on the far side. Keep in mind, he's also sensational when it comes to special teams. He's got 4 punt returns this week alone for touchdowns returned.
Wouldn't be surprised if SoCal doesn't try to go deep to him early in this first series.
Brent Bernor, who's a dual-threat quarterback in his own right, swings it out to the running back that got out in the flat, and Jalen Jones.
Nice.
He's already shown he can make a tackle or two, and he's got 12 yards in the passing game for a first down for SoCal.
Good first play there by SoCal, sending Prince deep, getting the guy underneath in the flats. He turns a short catch into a big-time 12-yard gain. So great first play by SoCal.
Up at their own 47-yard line. It was SoCal that beat GFL in the semis to get here. That's over the middle and delivered late, with players convening on Tui Gamoa, Robert Tui Gamoa. The intended target, second down.
Utah coming out in a straight 4-2-5 defense, and I can tell you about this team, as I said earlier, they're well coached, and they will rarely be out of position. So they play very solid defense. They don't hurt each other with penalties, which they'll need to do to slow down this SoCal offense.
4 receivers. Prentice Jones lined up in the slot on the near side. But instead, it's Bernor, the quarterback, keeping. And he shows I can move it with my legs too to the 40 of Utah. 15 yards and a first down.
Yep. Very successful in the zone read there. Quarterback reads the handoff from the to the running back, sees the in crash on it, pulls it, picks up a big gain here on the empty gap in the backside.
So what's your recipe if you're SoCal overall? Using your speed on the perimeter on the outside, you keeping Utah off balance? How would you go about this game?
I would do exactly what they're doing right now. I'm going to get outside, but I'm also let you know I'm not afraid to run up inside against that big physical defensive line. So great call there. It's a great read by the quarterback there.
Bernor, very good football IQ. Jalen Jones in the backfield with him. Bernor, the pocket breaking down. He got out of it. Bernor got out of it. He's still going. What an electrifying run. Bernor, who's near a first down. Complete junk into a jewel for the SoCal quarterback.
Neil, that went from a potential 15-yard sack into an 8-yard gain. What a great effort on this play. Look at it spin out of that pressure. As I mentioned, they're all good tacklers. Lineman to help keep up. Now he makes the guy miss and gets to the edge. Great job.
Broke 3 tackles, made 2 more men miss, got to the outside, 2nd and 4. First offensive possession for SoCal. Held Utah to a field goal. After they had a healthy drive. This is a healthy run for Jalen Jones. First down and more to the Utah 16. The SoCal offense, it's sizzling.
Yeah. I know you mentioned it. They're not afraid to go up the middle here, and I think they see something they like now. So they've really kind of established we can get to the edge if we want to. We can run the RPO, and we can run right at you at an eye and ISO. So that's a great job by the SoCal team.
Five wide receivers. They'll line Jones, the running back, out in the slot on the far side. Still yet to get Prentice Jones Jr. involved. Bernor looks that way. And now he's going to be taken down. Lassoed in the backfield. There was no escaping that rush this time from Finau Kautoa.
Great job by Finau here. Beats his man off the pass rush and finished the play with a big sack.
Kautoa, outstanding D1 potential, returns from last year's team.
And Neil, the thing to understand when you see these offenses go empty, the quarterback's got to know I'm going to this guy right away. You don't have time to read the
hot
pass
route.
rush come. Yeah, you got to make quick decisions, get the ball out of your hands.
Down to 70 seconds remaining. High intensity first quarter in the championship here in 8th grade. Burnow facing a blitz again. Throws to that open man. That hot route to Jones, who's been toting the rock not only in the run game but the pass game. Second reception. And he's around the 15-yard line. Bring up about 3rd and 8 for SoCal. One of the things about Utah, too, that makes this defense, not only their rush package, their stunt game is second to none for their level.
That last play you mentioned, Neil, a great disguise blitz, came in late, came in untouched. Great job once again by Bernor to get that ball off under pressure.
So 3rd and 8. Drive started back at the 32. Bernor made plays with the legs. Sees some pressure. Got a low snap. Looks with nothing open except the crease to the end zone. Brett Bernor burning rubber for the first 6 of the game. SoCal to the lead.
Great read by Bernor there. And once again, when you're in close and you see man-to-man coverage, and once you beat that first wave of the pass rush, it's open lanes because guys have their back to you in man-to-man coverage. So he made a great decision to tuck the ball away and take it right up the field. Good read by him. Nothing there. Tuck it, get vertical, get north to south, and go.
It's early, but the impressions through the first quarter, he runs like Johnny Manziel.
He does a little bit, yeah. A good burst.
6-3. Here comes the conversion with 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And both teams a right cross, a left forearm, blow for blow. Good stuff here. In the 8th grade national championship. You've watched it before, you know in the past it looks like a varsity game at the high school level.
A little confusion here on the PAT.
All sorts of dynamics going into getting aligned here properly, and then
Delay. It's called delay game.
I was going to say, did the jump come after the delay of game? It did. And that's a product of not knowing what was going on. You could see them not getting lined up properly.
Looks like SoCal doesn't have a kicker here, so this is critical right here. 6-3, manageable. 8-3, now you're off, and your analytics are all off, and so we'll see what kind of defense Utah comes up with to keep this a 6-3 game.
Workman had the 22-yard field goal, but you just had the 15-yard touchdown run by Bernor. He's got Jones, Jalen Jones in the backfield with him. He rolls that way on the far side with flags flying out. Too tall on the aerial.
Looks like we might have a hold there.
Holding anyway. It's going to be declined. It stays 6-3. 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And living up to the hype of how these two teams handled each of their first possessions.
Yeah, no, definitely see that this is how this game's going to go. There's going to be defense, but we've got some elite talent on both sides of the ball here. So I think we're going to see a very entertaining, I won't say high scoring, but this game won't be a 16-14 game based on what I see so far.
You know, it's also interesting, the bragging rights just through the years and the dynamics of football. You referenced the fact being a West Coast guy, California, but Utah football probably hasn't gotten the credit it's deserved, developing players, living in the shadow of the Southern Californians, the California kids all these years, not being too far away time zone-wise, and living behind the narrative of the quickness and speed and the athletic skill. And Utah's out to change that again with that complexion in this game.
Over the years, you know, Utah's been a strong program. Whittingham's done a good job there. And BYU's always a team like you don't want to play because they're always physical. So they've always kind of been on the map. But, yeah, you bring up a good point that the Utah and the Seattles, the Pacific Northwest, are definitely starting to show up here with the talent they're putting together.
I'm sure if you talk to these kids or anybody in the Utah program, they would have brought up BYU and the fact that their 2 losses were by 9 points. Should they have been in the playoff?
Yeah.
That's a fun debate.
Well, they came in and competed very well first time in the Big 12, and so they definitely set the tone there.
Fun weekend of football. That includes here championship week in Naples. 8th grade title game. 6-3. SoCal kicking off. Hayden Jarvis, second return. Running hard and out over the 30 to the 34-yard line. Time for one play left in the first.
Time for another, Neil, time for another Coach Williams technique tip. Loving that last play. You skill position guys, run with the ball in your outside arm, use the inside arm for a straight arm. It's good to see young guys start to get back to understanding the importance and how a straight arm could be a weapon to get more yards to finish your run. So great job by the return guy from Utah. By Hayden Jarvis there.
And Young was very excited about Hayden Jarvis, getting him into the mix, saying he's lightning fast. On the run to the outside, there's a flag in the backfield with the run by Fonua. S.J. Fonua, one of the returning players, and gets the ball a lot. But this penalty is going to bring it back.
Yeah. That's what we talked about earlier, Neil. Point of attack, that receiver, you've got to get that great block without holding the guy. Now you just brought back a 15-yard gain, and now you're going to be negative behind the sticks here.
You see that so often. Guys with the speed trying to get to the edge. You end up seeing a holding call. And so fast are the defenders in pursuit. How do you teach that or address how you're blocking that angle to make sure your guy doesn't have to worry about a penalty setting back a long run.
I think the main thing is you got to work on it. You know, it's memory, it's reps, and you know, all these receivers want to run their routes and double moves and get vertical and throw me a fade route, and they need to be spending more time. Which is one of the things we do at our FBU camp is that we teach how to stock block. You know, especially when you're at the point of attack. It's big on their part because it will allow your team to get second level most of the time. Keep your hands inside the jersey. Just basketball. Just he moves his feet, you move your feet. You just stay in front of him.
A teaching moment from Anthony Williams. And these two teams taught us a lot through the opening 10 minutes. It's going to be a good one here on the 8th grade FBU National Championship. SoCal 6, Utah 3 after one quarter here on the FBU YouTube channel.
Jeremiah Smith, that's JJ, take 2.
What makes me me is not the fact that I can jump high. It's not the fact that I can run fast. It's not the highlights.
Oh my goodness, Jeremiah Smith!
But I do like the highlights. I've been who I am before all that. My family made me. Miami Garden Ravens made me. Boy, those hills Coach Rob Mack made us run, those made me. Shamanah made me. Coach Jones made me. My team made me. My love for the game made me. My love for the game made me. And I just got to pay it forward. That's JJ.
Florida's Paradise Coast is more than just the home of the FBU National Championships. We're also the home of endless natural beauty and wild adventures, the home of holes-in-one and one-of-a-kind dishes, the home of incredible comebacks, and just plain kicking back. So come discover a sports paradise because only paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades. Florida's Paradise Coast.
Start the second quarter. And on the first snap, we won't get there because procedure on Utah. The boys from the Beehive State, one of these same individuals, part of the 7th grade crown last year.
Receivers watching this game, receivers should never be offsides. It doesn't matter what the count's on 5. Your eyes are down watching the ball. You move when the ball goes. Receivers should never be outside. Now it puts them behind the chains.
Rigby Young in the pistol. Absorbs the pressure. So does the line, and he dumps off the screen to Prom. K.L. Prom. With the surge from the big front, helping him along to midfield into SoCal territory at the 49.
Well-executed screenplay here. Looked like high school or college. Quarterback draws back, draws in the pass rush. Lineman slip under, get the ball to running back. He showed great patience, Neil, staying behind his lineman and turned the screen into a big play and moving the chains. Great job by Utah on that play.
And you see the intensity, the Samoan-Polynesian flair in this game on both sides of the football. A little bit of chatter going back and forth on each play. Healthy chatter.
Yeah, exactly, Neil. That's a great point. Healthy chatter I'm good with. It's the kind that's negative and, condescending that ends up with problems. So great job by both teams there.
Rigby Young takes it from the center. Nate Fale Kaono. And Young, who came out again under duress and after that over pursuit, found 5 more yards. Yep. I mentioned the center because he's a stud and was already named to next year's FBU All-American Bowl here in Naples, the freshman all-star game.
Yeah, he was really impressive in the Futures showcase yesterday. Not only can he snap the ball, he's very explosive and strong afterwards and moves his feet really good for a big guy. So he was an easy selection to be the first player selected for the freshman All-American game next year.
We've heard of the FBU, the U.S. Army and now U.S. Navy All-American game and the National Combine that came in. I want to ask you about the Futures Showcase right after this play. 2nd and 5 in the base defense SoCal. Rigby Young doesn't like what he sees downfield. Shows this is going to be a leg race between the quarterbacks, says Brett Berner. I got you. I see your run, and I'll take it for 15 more. First down to the SoCal 28.
The only thing I'd like to see different there, great read, great job getting that field. Once you cross the line of scrimmage, put the ball away, you become a running back, show good ball security there. He had that ball a little bit out high, and with today's kids trying to strip the ball out, you don't want to turn over after a big play like that.
Denny Fa'amo made the tackle.
Utah with a nice drive right now, driving down just inside the 30-yard line.
Part of that was Chase Lockett for SoCal who made the stop. On the move, Utah. Trailing 6-3, thrown into traffic, but only where his receiver could get it. Titus Moore climbs the ladder to grab it.
Great job of Titus, playing against his own, finding an open area, sit down, let the quarterback get you the ball, try and get north and south. Very well executed play right here.
That's 8 yards to the 16. 2nd and 2. Brought up the future showcase. What are the types of individual things you're looking at, and what kind of numbers have you seen come into this week in Naples where you're identifying players to eventually play in that game?
Yeah, we had 400-plus kids here yesterday going through the showcase. A lot of your 28s, 29s looking for that invite for next year. It turned out pretty good here.
Young going up top, tipped, then caught! Caught off the deflection at the 1. S.J. Fonua, who's one of the returnees in the receiving corps that's pretty much brand new. Right place, right time, great concentration. Yeah. What should have been an interception. And Prentice Jones Jr. will want that one back.
He definitely will. Ball was underthrown. I think he mistimed his jump, caught on the way down instead of on the way up. Slips through his hands. Receiver does a great job making the adjustment. Makes a big play for his team to get the ball inside the 2-yard line.
So Utah, now they've got it, and they go heavy with the 3 in the backfield. That wishbone look on 1st and goal from the 2. It's Rigby Young who keeps it looking fresh on the ground. Utah back in front, 9-6 with a touchdown. But there's a flag.
Celebration. Spun the ball afterwards. Just, guys, I know you're excited, but you hurt your team when you do that. And so now this PAT is going to be a problem. But they have a good kicker, it probably won't be a problem. But just understand, celebrate with your team. Don't need to spin the ball. Some officials just don't like it. And so, but a great play by him. I'd like to mention here, Neil, on that quarterback sneak, you see a lot of quarterbacks just kind of fall forward. Can't do that anymore. He showed great patience. He slid over into the B gap, went forward, and got into the end zone. So great job by him. Great job of reading his blocking on that play.
Let the play develop before stuffing it in. So Andrew Workman had a 22-yard field goal in the first quarter. Almost 4 minutes taken up here in the second. Putting Utah in front 9-6. With the snap down, and Workman pummels it through. 10-6.
That would have been good from 30 yards. And that kid has got a bright future. He's got a strong leg.
We already saw it in the 6th grade game. We've seen it throughout the years. Kickers can make a huge difference. They're weapons if you really got a good leg.
You got to commit to it.
We've seen 3 offensive drives in this game, and they've all turned out points. Yep. Utah 10, SoCal 6, with 6:10 remaining in the half. And another drive aided by the running of Rigby Young. So what does Brett Bernor and the SoCal offense have in response? And let's not forget that big play, which looked like it was going to be an interception and then a catch.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
That's right. You need the breaks.
Yeah, you do, especially in a championship game.
Good fortune. No one will ever apologize for it.
But as I
and
said,
the good teams take advantage of it.
Now you're back 15 yards. You're probably going to get a field position to an offense that's already been moving the ball and scoring every time they had the ball here. So once again, players think about the overall scheme when you try and celebrate your big plays.
And the man they want to kick away from is Prentice Jones Jr. His electrifying runs in the return game. Kickers are weapons, and so are return specialists.
Absolutely, absolutely. Can change a game in one play.
Workman knocks it deep, on a bounce. Prentice Jones Jr. at the 30. Jones Jr. reversing course. There's a flag. Jones Jr. still got about a 15-yard return out of it when it's all said and done, but this is coming back.
I mean, Neil, I hate to sound like a broken record, but you're taught at this age, if I can see the back of the guy's number I'm blocking, don't hit him in the back.
Don't.
It was a pretty decent return. Now you're going to be back, and you're going to lose some field position here. So young players understand, if you see the back of their uniform, don't touch them, don't hit them.
You did a great job raising your kids, Anthony, but I'm sure you know you had to tell them a time or two to clean the room or do the dishes once.
It's true, but
it sounded like a broken record.
A good point, Neil, but as you know, also in development and practice, you've got to spend time. You have to make it important as a coach that special teams is important to me, and the kids have to know special teams are important. Not like, oh, my God, I'm on the kickoff team. So that makes a big difference in big games like this, especially in a championship game.
No doubt about that. Low snap, burner, tough hold, and a jailbreak in the backfield, essentially. Jalen Jones had no chance. Just the flourish off the ball by the Utah front. You better be sharp in your execution.
Absolutely.
You're going to pay the price.
Yes. They're all about getting penetration deep in the backfield and causing havoc in the backfield, and that's what happened on that play.
That was Lee Fafita, 58. He was part of that group on the defensive line, again, that they've all touted, or at least the Utah coaching staff feeling they've got bright futures in the college game and perhaps beyond. Almost the midpoint of this second quarter. New quarterback in there. Mila Leyu, who throws it up for grabs. Could have been intercepted, could have been caught. It's incomplete in the end. He worked free to fleece it downfield to an open target in Tuiagamoa. And maybe distracted a little bit because the defender was in the way.
Definitely did, and came from the backside to get there. If he doesn't get there, that's probably going to be a touchdown. Great job by that defensive back.
Make some noise for your defense.
Freddie Arteaga, no trouble mixing up his quarterbacks. Mila Leyu is more of the pocket passer. We already saw Bernor on the ground. But oftentimes in these championship games, if you can't get a rhythm with both, you usually end up relying on one.
Yeah.
When it comes to the brass tacks in the second half. Mileu with the chant of defense from the Utah fans. Just great coverage downfield. It was 3rd and 13. They will say it's a reception by Prentice Jones, but well short of the first down.
Yep.
And everything was off schedule from the return penalty, and then that low snap on first down.
Yep. And now we're going to get our first punt of the game, I think. I hope they are.
So SoCal, which had that impressive drive to take the lead, now going to stand back to punt it.
I know fans may be watching, parents maybe even watching, why are we punting here? Like, hey, we didn't get our first down. Let's flip the field, let our defense come back on, get a 3 and out, and give us great field position. That's how the game works. So hopefully this young man will get a good punt off here and flip the field for his team.
7, Faumoina. They call him 7. He wears 7, of course.
Oh, got a friendly bounce.
Given name Samuel, standing away from the kick. Roman Fitasimanu. Utah will come back out with the football. Leading at 10-6 with 4:43 remaining in the half.
This could be a big drive for Utah here, trying to drive before they get another score before the end of the first half here. SoCal is thinking, hey, let's get a stop here, get the ball back in our field position, try and get back in, score a touchdown before the end of the half. So this is kind of a key series right here as we go into halftime.
Very important. Rigby Young in the pistol. Going to keep it himself. Going to try and drive back inside. Darnell Lacey Jr., the first to make contact. That wonderful downhill speed, this defensive back, and the physical presence against the run.
Rigby showing, once again, you mentioned it, Neil, his high football IQ. Ball was snapped. The defensive end immediately cut inside. He saw that and said, hey, I can get to the edge. It wasn't a big game, but definitely picked up a couple yards here off of a blown coverage on defense.
About to hit 4 minutes remaining here in the first half. This is also the thing, too, about that Utah front. They get a lead. They start running it. Time of possession, grind you, shorten the game.
That is their signature. That is who they are.
Already seen it on display. Got to a 6th grade title game a couple years ago. 7th grade champs last year. Rigby Young hung in the pocket, delivered it late. It's incomplete.
A lot of fans, Neil, yelling for pass interference. That's instant contact. Feet got tripped up. They're not going to call that as pass interference. Love the play action, though. Great play action by Riley, showing the fake, coming out, waiting for that receiver to clear. Just missed him because of the trip.
Fonua was the intended target. S.J. Fonua down the middle, who was the one that caught the ball off the deflection that set up the touchdown. That was the Rigby Young run.
So something to look out for on this down, Neil. If they come out in two by two and they're in man, Riley knows last time they did that, if I just stay in the pocket and let them turn their backs, if I see a lane, I'm taking it. I'll get the first down and take it further than that like he did last time.
3rd and 9.
Looks like they're in zone the way those cornerbacks are off. Yep, they're in zone. They're dropping.
With 4 receivers, Young hangs in there, delivers, it's incomplete. Over the middle, Roman Stepanovic, who's still down, trying to readjust to that football, and took a little bit of a pop from Emmanuel Beaver, who came up to make the play in coverage.
Yeah, I think Riley would want that throw back. If he threw that one a little late and inside, if he hits him in stride, he would have had a big gain there. He did try and adjust, took a shot to the back of his shoulder. Hopefully he's okay.
3:31 remaining in the first half. Timeout for injury. And Stepanovic gets helped back to his feet, so that's good to see.
We had a penalty. Looks like we had a penalty, dead ball. I don't know what it was, but they backed him up 15.
Unsportsmanlike conduct after the play on Utah. Don't know if that was at the line or either way, moves them back, and you've got a kick to the dangerous Prentice Jones Jr. And with the way this field is shaped, I'm not even putting this in his path.
No.
I'm angling toward the sideline.
Punt this ball out of bounds, absolutely.
The boisterous Utah faithful. This is one of the better, family aside, traveling bases in the national championship.
Oh.
And this kick won't get to midfield, but that's exactly how SoCal would like it. Stays away from Jones Jr., and we've got more mischief now at the tail end of the play. And some of that friendly chirping is getting a little more hostile, and it's led to another penalty flag coming out. With some contact, too. And the officials aren't going to take it. Set the bar in order here with 3:20 remaining in the half.
Well, and Neil, this is where I'm going to share my next coaching tip for young players out there. If you want to play this game at a high level, you have got to be able to control your emotions. You could be a great player, run 4-5, all that stuff, but if you can't control your emotions, especially in a championship game, no coach is going to touch you. So you've got to play so you don't hurt your team. You may want to swing at a guy or say something, but you got to know, God, if I do that, I'm going to hurt my team. So I'm going to show control and not do that here.
There's been a game disqualification here to SoCal, and one of their players. Wow. That goes in line to what I was going to say. You're trying to develop these guys who are still physically developing. From the football standpoint, that's one thing. But how often are you looking for the maturation process in how they handle certain situations in adversity? Not only FBU, but across the board at this grade level.
Well, and it comes from the coaches and the adults and the parents, I'll say. You know, you just can't do anything you want to do in a football field. That's why it's the ultimate team sport. If you want to be an individual, go run track, go play tennis. But it starts at home. It continues with the coaching staff and let them know that we have a certain standard of level of play that we expect from you. And if you can't do it, you can't play.
Didn't hear the initial number of the game disqualification, but we'll noodle that through for you.
It must have been egregious because I can tell you the last thing we wanted to see in a championship here in the FBU is having a player come all the way out here and get kicked out of a game. So it must have been something very egregious.
We're talking 6 hours by way of plane at the minimum from Southwest Florida to Southern California. Utah a little bit shorter, with a lot of caravans of driving travel to get here. Trying to drive the pile off the line, the Utah front. Bernor's back in there, scrambling for his life, kept the play along for a long time before throwing it away, and flag coming in late.
2 flags in the field, one at midfield.
Getting messy here before halftime. Called for a trainer.
Holding on defense.
Offense had an ineligible man downfield, and there was a penalty on Utah to reset. They were calling a trainer from the Utah sideline. Come maybe towards the SoCal bench, and then they put that to a halt. So it's helter-skelter here.
Yeah. But still 3 minutes left for SoCal to try and get back on the board here for the half.
They've got a shot to recapture the lead, down 10-6. Jalen Jones in the backfield with Brent Berner, the quarterback. Swings to the flat. Tuiagamoa. Off he goes, but so came the flags. Well, I doubt this will stand for SoCal.
Okay, literally, if we can get the replay of that play, literally the slot receiver came out and tackled the nickel DB on this play. I don't know why he's got his hands up. That was an obvious holding. Got his hands around the outside and just took away a big gain when all he had to do is just kind of shadow block the guy.
Well, such a well-played first quarter in terms of the execution. And now we've hit a little bit of a wall here in the late stages of the second quarter.
I don't know how he thought he wasn't going to get seen at the point of attack on that kind of a hold. Hold and spin, too.
They restart that clock. Bernor back to pass with 5 wide. Starts the run. Initially saw that coverage break. Bernor again. Gaping run through the yawning chasm of the Utah defense. He has found those soft spots on the second level and gets to the Utah 38.
Bonner started to look like a Buffalo quarterback, Josh
Allen.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, he's just getting north and south and just picking up yards, man.
We knew we were going to get a Bills reference at some point.
Come on, I got to. Bills Mafia, holla.
Anthony's son, of course, in the NFL with Buffalo for a great run after playing at the University of Texas. 2 minutes remaining here in the half. 10-6, Utah leads, SoCal driving. Penalty-filled second quarter. On the delayed handoff, Jalen Jones. And the rugged tackle of Tua Tuiaki.
It's a good first down stop. Utah kind of got gashed these last 2 plays, got saved by penalties, but it's a good play by the defense, kind of set the tone and get back to stopping this drive.
2nd and 10. Bernor Looks. Can't keep it alive forever. Flags come out. Surely a hold. It's also an interception on the late throw. Tua Tuiaki picks it off. He had just made the big stop in the hole. Rumbles into the SoCal sideline at the 45.
Great job in coverage by him, number 32 on that. And that's going to stand up because that was definitely a hold on the offense. I see a flag in the backfield here. Where's my white hat? Where'd he go?
Looked like there was a block in the back on the return.
On the return, okay.
So the interception stands. Block in the back. On the return. And so Rigby Young will bring the offense out. It's just a matter now of where they spot this football.
Yeah, I don't
the
think
hold was declined after the interception.
Yep.
And the change of possession.
I think once again, Neil, we see young quarterbacks, as good as they are, not seeing that underneath guy when they try and throw late down the field. Great interception by that young man and turn the field over here. 1:15 left. Utah's going to have a chance to put some points up, and with their kicker, they get close enough. They can be in field goal range and go up full 7 points here, which make a difference going into the second half.
SoCal won the toss and deferred, so they're going to get it to start the third quarter. Making this all the more important to keep it within striking distance. So it's interesting how this game has played out. The scoring drives for the first three possessions, but a lot of the work done by the quarterbacks with their legs. Prentice Jones Jr. really hasn't featured all that much. Name was out there, could have had an interception. The running backs of Utah, no one's really emerged to that. The quarterbacks have been the story.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, once again, I mentioned it earlier, the quarterbacks are managing the offense. They take in what the defense gives them. And if I'm in man-to-man, you're turning around with my guys, and I see a gap, I'm taking off. And that one went from a short game to a touchdown. And so both quarterbacks are definitely leading as in productivity for this game so far in the first half.
So the return penalty after the interception brings Utah to the 38.
SoCal in a cover 2 zone defense here.
And Rigby Young has to run under duress and just gets mauled over in the end.
Yeah, I think I just going to make a mental note here, Neil. When I see Rigby, going to talk to him about ball security. I mean, he's got that ball out waving. He's getting really close, giving up a big fumble.
2nd and 6. And one of the perplexing things, mentioning Prentice Jones Jr., I haven't seen him out there on offense the last couple of snaps. Now, I don't know if that's an injury. Again, we haven't identified the number 2 of the disqualification.
That's true. That's a good point.
So that adds to the perplexity of this situation for the newly named FBU Youth Player of the Year.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't recognize so he's not at corner right now, Neil, you saw?
I have not seen number 1 out there for SoCal.
Utah coming out in 3-by-1 here.
Young in the gun.
Take what they give you, yep.
Nice to the flat. Pass. Cal Prom over midfield to the 49. And remember here, that's a first down. You've got the great kicker in Workman who's got a 22-yard field goal, so you're not thinking you need a touchdown here. You can get in the field goal range.
Absolutely. With his leg, definitely. He's a weapon. And so utilize the sideline, utilize your timeouts, try and get in field goal position. if you don't think you're going to score, and put another 3 points on the board for halftime.
They have this. Initially, I thought he was out at midfield, but they've got him at the 44. Oh, no, now they're moving it ahead to the 48.
Yeah.
They haven't moved the chains. Now they got to get the house in order here.
Yeah. Sometimes you have examples. You give, some volunteers and parents are doing the chain gang. They don't know to, they get excited, they move. Like, hey, don't move until the side judge tells you. And so they're trying to get this correct here.
Yes, and in fairness, that's who my edict was at, the referees, to have a little bit more conviction. But, of course, they've had long days, too. They do a great job.
Well, Neil, I tell parents and youth coaches all the time at the clinics I do, the officials are human. They're going to make mistakes. But what you don't see an official calling out a coach going, Coach, why are you in cover 3 here? Hey, that was a dumb play. So we just got to remind everybody to stay in their lanes and do their job to the best of their ability.
That would make for an interesting podcast, right?
Right.
Four receivers, 3 far side for Rigby Young and the Utah offense. Sloppy back half of the second quarter. Young has been the meal ticket, just lugging it along, weaving through traffic. These highly heavy pursuited defenses, and the quarterbacks are taking advantage of what they've got in the middle.
It's almost like a replay from last year, Neil. I think you had these kind of running plays last year in the 7th grade championship.
They did. Got a first down from Young to the 32. SoCal calls timeout with 41 seconds remaining.
Well, now, Neil, with that pickup of that big yardage with 41, they're thinking touchdown now. I mean, that's a nice pickup on first down. Got some momentum going. You get a free timeout. You get the play call that you want here in the huddle. I think they're now thinking touchdown, and if we don't get it, field goal.
And Andrew Workman, the kicker, getting loose. Final of the middle school championships. Of course, we had finals starting all morning long. The under 10 division, multiple title games, the red, the blue, the gold, the platinum championship. In the 6th grade NIT, the second division of championship football for the first time. The 6th grade title won by DFW East, 31-0. Boy, were they impressive in their win.
All 15 of them, Neil.
All 15 of them, yes. A truncated roster. And the victory, they beat North LA in that game, and then a walk-off winner from Central Florida in the 7th grade game in overtime against Ohio. Here's a toss and a halfback throw. Up in the air, intercepted. Emmanuel Beaver. He goes hunting. And down at the 31. Well, if you're Utah, you tried the play of trickery, and you just had to wonder, are you overthinking this a little bit?
Yeah. You're not having your quarterback throw a deep ball like that. It was definitely not underthrown and that accurate. I'm sure they'd like to have that play back.
Roman Fidesimanu threw the pass. And that's also one, if he's not open, wide open,
eat it.
Run to the boundary.
That's
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Another unsportsmanlike conduct call on Utah. 25 seconds and a half that suddenly won't end.
Yeah. Well, he didn't see it because he was looking for the deep guy, which I'm sure they had in practice, but Rigby was wide open on the backside if he had saw him. He had nothing but sidelines on that play.
They go to Bernor. There's still no Prentice Jones Jr. out there.
Neil, I'm beginning to think he was the ejected player. We'll get that confirmed at halftime, but he's not
done. Which would just be an unbelievable turn of events. We were looking downfield. We're trying to get confirmation on that. That's a penalty on Utah. Well, nothing has been clean really with the conclusion of the last 5 minutes here. Just laboring to get to the halftime whistle. But Bernor and SoCal have other ideas. They want the lead. Tackles break down. Bernor spins out of it and runs for a first down. Got 15 more yards. But will it stand? There was a flag that came out. It's a hold.
Holding against the offense. That'll take them back 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Yeah, it's getting a little sloppy, not like we had in the first quarter.
Where did that ebb and flow go?
Yeah.
And you're hoping that in some way it's restored in the second half, but this is a completely different game than what we witnessed in the first 10 minutes. Mistakes. Temper's boiling over. We've had a game DQ. Jalen Jones Jr. running strong to the 41.
And another flag just went down.
We're being told that the disqualified player, Alicio Zamorano, for SoCal, so not Prentice Jones, so he may be dealing with injury.
Yeah.
Remember, we did say that they had referenced the Utah training staff to potentially come over to the SoCal sideline.
It's a huge loss if he's out of the game.
But SoCal, after another call after the play, has it inside the 30. 7 seconds left. Utah will burn the timeout.
Yeah, I think you're going to see SoCal here kind of go up top here, try and get something in the end zone. Fade route to number 6 down here at the bottom, but we'll see. I think that's why he called timeout, to make sure he had some help over the top.
Well, had the interception the last time with the football. Utah really couldn't do anything with it. Then they throw a pick. How you feeling if you're both coaches right now and what you're going to address here going into halftime?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be kind of getting back to who we are, getting back to how we played in that first quarter. Let's start getting away from all the talking and all that stuff. Just cut down the penalties and get back to what we do in the first quarter. Running the ball, being balanced, playing strong defense, and using our special teams to try and help us win this game. Look for a fade route down here at the bottom.
Bernor, back to pass. Line seeps through for Utah defensively. Bernor runs away from everyone, but he runs out of time. And that's where you know that there isn't a kicking option for SoCal. Most assuredly they would have tried it, and they run out of time here in the first half. So 20 minutes in the books, and a first quarter that you'll sign off on 7 times over. The second, not so much. But Utah leads at 10-6 at the break, heading to halftime in the 8th grade FBU National Championship on the FBU YouTube channel.
Jeremiah Smith, that's JJ, take 2.
What makes me me is not the fact that I can jump high. It's not the fact that I can run fast. It's not the highlights.
Oh my goodness, Jeremiah Smith!
But I do like the highlights. I've been who I am before all that. My family made me. Miami got the Ravens made me. Boy, those hills Coach Rob Mack made us run, those made me. Shamanah made me. Coach Jones made me. My teammates. My love for the game made me. My love for the game made me. And I just got to pay it forward. That's JJ.
Florida's Paradise Coast is more than just the home of the FBU National Championships. We're also the home of endless natural beauty and wild adventures. The home of holes in one and one-of-a-kind dishes. The home of incredible comebacks and just plain kicking back. So come discover a sports paradise, because only paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades, Florida's Paradise Coast.
half. It's Utah 10, SoCal 6. Fans,
Welcome back to Naples, the 8th grade FBU National Championship. And coming out of halftime, where Utah leads SoCal 10-6. Neil Sika with Anthony Williams, who's the FBU All-American Bowl director. Saw a great game last night, another edition here with the best freshman stars across the country. And a great crowd on hand.
I appreciate you mentioning that, Neil. Just for all you you 8th graders out there right now, FBU Camp Series will be starting. We'll be looking for the next crop of the best of the class of 29 coming up for next year's game. So make sure you get to a camp, send me some highlight video, and we'll start building a roster for next year, hopefully with one of you on it.
And go to the website for more information on those camps.
Footballuniversity.org.
Andrew Workman going to get to work and kick off where SoCal will receive the second half kickoff. Still no Prentice Jones Jr., who didn't feature over the last 3 series on offense or defense. That's a late toss on a tackle out of bounds. But apparently going to let it go after Linalda Corley Jr. got spun out. So, SoCal comes out with a football, and they answered the opening drive field goal by Utah with a touchdown, 15 yards from Brent Bornor, the quarterback. Utah then responded, 2-yard run by the quarterback and Rigby Young, but the second half was one that won't be fit into a time capsule. Penalties, frustration, a game DQ, and stalled out offenses. They start with a run on the ground. Jalen Jones, who's the feature back, gets 4 yards.
And we were able to confirm at halftime that number 23 was ejected from the game, and Prentice Jones Jr. does have the injury and looks like he might be done for this game, unfortunately.
I hate to see that. The FBU Youth Player of the Year, FBU National Player of the Year. 4 special teams touchdowns, but the disappointing part too, barely touched the football. Yeah. And the one that he did, he dropped the interception, but they didn't feature him on offense.
Yeah. Or at least a lot of targets, no.
That's a credit to Utah's defense, how fast they pursue the football in this base 3-4. Jones following blockers, extending it. And got about 3 or 4 more, so 3rd and 2 coming up for SoCal.
SoCal's going to have their hands full. You're missing your number 1 player. You're playing against a very strong defense, but they do have some depth. They do have some guys that still have a chance to get back in this game.
It's not been straight-ahead power football for either offense running it. The success on the ground has come when plays have broken down or delayed calls to the quarterbacks. There hasn't been much to speak of in the passing game just because of how fast these two pursue the football on the other side.
I'm not going to be surprised to see Utah in a little bit more of a zone defense to prevent those runs by the quarterback and make him either check down or have your linebackers in place to make a big play.
3 receivers near side. Bernor fakes to Jones, gashing out to the far side off tackle to the 41 of Utah. And a big hitter, Bernor. He's got the wheels, and he's got 21 yards, first down.
Yeah, great play there. Just reading the zone, read again, keeps it, use that speed to get around the corner. Hey, I guess he's saying, hey, my number 1 guy isn't here. I'm still going to find a way to make plays and move this team down the field.
Legend Toilolo. He made the tackle, or it would have been a bigger gain for Brett Bernor. He's got 75 yards on the ground. Give in the middle.
I'll take 4 yards on first down. Get in front of the chains.
That's Corley Jr., who gets a carry to spell Jones. Nothing wrong with that, though. You'll take these 2nd and 5, 6 situations. Both coaches emphasizing, and I'm sure they wanted to, you were making a mention of this before we got to that, playing clean football.
Yeah.
Here in this championship game. Bernor running all the way. That zone read, he's got it down to a T. He takes it inside the 25 to the Utah 22, 18 more.
Yeah. And on that zone read, wasn't much freedom. You could tell he's going to keep it. He's literally putting his team on his back right now offensively and saying, I got this.
Jones back in. Impressive start to the third quarter for SoCal with the ball. They've taken up 3.5 minutes already. Brett Bernor. We're outside of Mialeu, the pocket passing quarterback who got a series. It's been Bernor. A chant defense from the Utah crowd. They show blitz. Jones trying to slip on through. It just spills to the outside. 2 and 3 yards. Very tough to come by. Foul Otoa. That outstanding linebacker. Tau Tuiaki, who's made big plays tonight. He's got the interception.
Yeah, I don't know if the SoCal coaches have somebody up top here, but if he had pulled that one, the left side was wide open again. Look for that to come up here as they're behind the chains, or look for them to go RPO, maybe have him pass out of it too.
Loss of 1 on that run. 2nd and 11. Bernor. This time he fakes, keeps. Listen to your advice a little, Anthony. And there's 7 yards to set up 3rd and short. That play has worked over and over and over again.
Well, and now, Neil, as you know, so you're at about the 15-yard line. Most defense, you're going to be in man coverage, and that's something he's been taking advantage of. So if he sees man and those guys run vertical, he's going to look for one seam and try and get in the end zone here. I'm not saying he's trying not to throw it, but he's just taking what the defense gives him. Hopefully Utah will counter with some type of a zone defense here close in the red zone.
Inside of 5 minutes in the third. And late coming out. Reset the play clock where Bernor gets everyone in the shape he wants them. 2 receivers near side. They give to Jones. Jones tried to pop it outside. He got through the first wave, but not the second. Maybe a yard. 4th and 4.
Great tackle there by Caleb. Stayed home, put a good tackle on an open field, got him down for a short gain. Great job there.
Foul Alatoa. Fautoa, one of those 4 that made up the crux and the spine of the defense last year. 4th and 4. No kicking game in play for SoCal.
Unfortunately, look for Burner to try and make a play here again.
10 in the box. They give to Jones. Tries to spring it with some pull action, and they've got it.
Great push by the SoCal offensive line there, Neil, to get that first down. That was just straight man-on-man blocking. They moved on scrimmage and won it and got the first down. Big play there.
Well, when in doubt, you use the technique of Damian Armenta up there. And lug it for 4 yards and a first down on 4th and 3.
Pistol formation.
SoCal's had the ball this entire third quarter. They go Jones, they pull a few more. He spins out of 2 tackles. Jones to the 5. Jones still going. Jones out at the 2.
Great run by Jones, just not giving up. See a flag in the play. This might be a holding to bring this back.
Another highlight reel run featured in this game, but going to be all for naught.
detail in the replay there. But just a great effort overall by Jalen finishing that run.
Here's a look. I didn't see anything clear.
Nothing obvious there. I don't know.
Oh, there was no hold. It's a dead ball personal foul. So it's 1st and goal at the 2.
Wow.
We had the video evidence from our prep spin crew, so say no more. So here's SoCal trying to stuff it in and take the lead late in the 3rd here in the 8th grade championship. Brett Bernor, Jalen Jones.
What a great cut.
Hold the phone. He's in the end zone, but there's a flag. It's a hold.
Oh, my goodness.
So that will take them now to 1st and goal at the 1.
Didn't see it. Maybe a little bit too tight in the wing there, but here we go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, dragged him down from behind.
Yep.
Great cut by Davis again, though. Oh, Jalen Jones, sorry.
Had a lot of names running through our heads.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, they haven't really attempted, I don't think they've attempted a pass or put one in the air since that interception back in the mid-portion of the 2nd quarter. So it's 1st and goal, now at the 11. Here's the roll, here's the toss, it's caught, and down to the 5. Maua Malanga, Christian Maua Malanga with the reception from Bernor. 2nd down.
Great open field tackle there by Luke Latoya on that play in the big tight end in the flats. Keep him to a short gain.
This isn't rarefied air from SoCal. This is a team that has showed they can go toe-to-toe with the physicality of Utah. They're giving them a dose of their own medicine with the ground control, and they've had the ball all 8 minutes in the 3rd.
Absolutely.
But that doesn't matter if they don't have the sustenance at the end. It's going to be 3rd and goal upcoming. Or actually 4th down upcoming, because that was 3rd down.
I think.
Or did I have that wrong?
No, I think it's 3rd down.
It is 3rd down. I got ahead of myself after the penalty.
Look for this to definitely be some type of a pass play. And as most teams are going to be in man this close to the end zone. If he doesn't see what he wants coming out, he's going to look for a lane to put himself in the end zone.
3rd and goal at the 3. Jones coming off. Corley Jr. in the backfield with Bernor, the quarterback. They stack that line. Bernor's not going to get there. Slammed down at the 2. And the Utah D tightening the screws. King Koloi, Tawatuiaki made the tackle. It's 4th down at the 4.
I mean, Neil, there's a lot of great soccer players in Southern California. You got to recruit one. The field goal here puts you down 1 point going to 4th quarter. You've basically managed and owned the time this whole 3rd quarter here.
You read my mind, and including at the end of the half, you could have attempted a kick. But you've got half a minute remaining and in jeopardy of not scoring if you don't capitalize here. On 4th down, they give to Jones. He's got the surge, but he didn't get there. Taken down at the 2. It looked like Petty Vaca got the last piece of Jones trying to hit the end zone. There he is. Turnover.
Great defensive stand here. 44 causing penetrations, making them slow down. And then here comes a pursuit and a great play by finish it there. And I'll be honest, Jalen Jones looked a little tired. He literally was standing straight leg before that snap. Didn't really show the power there, but great goal line stand for Utah.
Vaca with the huge stop, and Utah bending but not breaking. And the tackle made late on. But Utah in the shadow of their own goalpost here in the final game, the 8th grade championship. Here's the pressure coming in on Young. He's sacked.
That's a safety.
A safety. Oh, they brought the rush off the edge. Young didn't see it. And what a very peculiar decision for a ground run-oriented offense to throw from their end zone.
Yeah, got to question that call there. Well, there was a little, it was like play action. Running back actually ran into the quarterback there, threw the timing off, but in the 2-yard line, you want to run the ball there on first down and get you to more room.
Tavish Howard and Hanson McAfee were in there for SoCal. So they do end up getting points, maybe just not the way they had envisioned it moments before. Sack and a safety, 10-8, and there's also better news. Prentice Jones was out there, lined up in the defensive back role for SoCal on that play.
Well, that's good news for SoCal to have one of their best players back on the field and get 2 points out of it. So, and going to get the ball back in good field position.
And so the free kick is coming at the 20, and there is Jones, who's standing back at his own 42. The plot thickens here with 16 seconds remaining. 10-8. Andrew Workman. Kicks it away. And it's Prentice Jones Jr. who springs to the outside. Prentice Jones Jr. in a flash, back in the game and having a huge impact. At the 22, first down for SoCal in Utah territory.
Kid's a playmaker. I don't know what they gave him or what. He came back. He looks healthy. He turned on the speed, and you saw some of that junior world-class track speed here. Right when he turns the corner, gets the edge, he just goes to another gear.
And once again, you've got Corley Jr. back there, and you're kicking in the direction of Prentice Jones. So the shotgun pass from their own end zone, and then that. And it's allowed SoCal to have life, the ball again, and they're within 2 points. And here's the delayed handoff, Jalen Jones. Jalen Jones stretching it. He's carried the mail all game long. The exhaustion aside, but he's trying to will SoCal towards a touchdown and a lead, which they'll look for in the fourth quarter, the final quarter of championship week in Naples. FBU's 8th grade title on the line. 10-8 Utah after 3. And back to Naples in a moment on the FBU YouTube channel.
In a place this stunning, you can't help but think, the only thing I want from a vacation is the finest everything. Which is why only paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades, Florida's Paradise Coast.
Jeremiah Smith, that's JJ, take 2.
What makes me me is not the fact that I can jump high. It's not the fact that I can run fast. It's not the highlights.
Oh my goodness, Jeremiah Smith!
But I do like the highlights. I ain't been who I am before all that. My family made me. Miami got the Ravens made me. Boy, those hills Coach Rob Mack made us run, those made me. Chaminade made me. Coach Jones made me. My team made me. My love for the game made me. My love for the game made me. And I just got to pay it forward. That's JJ.
Second down and 2 to start the fourth quarter, and the pass, which they had at the tail end of the third, Maua Malenga will rumble inside the 15 down to the 11 of Utah. First down. This is set up after the big free kick return by Prentice Jones Jr. after the safety. 10-8 Utah.
SoCal showing some momentum right now. Their best player comes back, makes a play, and now the whole team's fired up, and that looks like momentum's going on their sideline now.
Ilsika Anthony Williams here in Naples for the nightcap. Bernor, Brett Bernor, the quarterback. Fakes, keeps, takes. Down to the 5.
Really seems to like that zone read going back to the left-hand side. They found some type of a weakness or advantage there, so he took advantage of it, picked up a nice gain.
Tough to tell from our angle in the booth, but might be a smidgen of room to get a first down inside the 1.
There is.
This is a tired Utah defense. They've had one play on offense, Anthony, in the second half.
That's correct. SoCal giving Utah some of their own medicine here with this time of possession.
Now there's the little bit of look from the goal line. Got a timeout here. It's 2nd and 5.
Oh, delay game.
Delay a game.
Ouch.
Where they had run the ball in. They had a holding call on the goal line. Tried to get back into range. Played for it on 4th down. We're left shy. The next play was a snap and a safety. So everything but the finishing touch for much of this second half for SoCal. Now it's 2nd and 10. Swing to the flat. Corley Jr. creeps a little bit closer.
Like the mindset of the SoCal OC right now. Keeping things simple, running the ball. We had a nice successful flare pass to the tight end on the right side to get down here. Another one just now to the running back. Look for now Barn to say, okay, hey, we're close enough. I'm taking control of this and probably run one here, either off the RPO or the zone read.
Ten 8. 2 minutes gone in the fourth. 3rd down and call it 5 at the 6. This is Bernor. He's going to roll to the field side. He's in the grasp. He tossed it away. It's incomplete.
So he's outside the pocket, but did the ball get to the line of scrimmage? And it did not. So
it did not.
That'll be intentional grounding on the quarterback.
Was that King Koloy who had him in the grasp? Or was it Vaca again with an unbelievable reach? This is the guy who made the stop on 4th down. Petty Vaca.
Vaca made a good read. You know, Berner's got some good speed. Just caught the jersey, held him up. Didn't have a play, tried to make something happen, throws it out and gets a penalty out. So it's a big defensive play right there for Utah.
And it's a loss of down, which would take you to 4th down. It's such a detrimental penalty to have at this time because, again, you don't have a kicking game.
None. No.
And we've referenced this 3 times where you could have been in position to take the lead on multiple occasions.
I think if I'm Utah here, Neil, I'm not blitzing. I'm probably going to rush 3 and drop 8 on this one. They probably either make him make a throw, or if he does decide to take off, I've got guys in position.
And SoCal knows we're going to think about this, call a timeout, because who's to say if Utah gets back to the ground game that they can't realistically bleed out the clock like SoCal did in the 3rd quarter and say you're not going to get the ball back.
Correct.
Well, this has huge implications. with 7:38 remaining. Well, we've got a moment. Our great prep spin crew who's been showing you the pictures all game long, all day long.
Outstanding by the crew.
William Warfield and his contingent, Clyde Martindale, Torrey Bailey, Joe Allen. We salute them. Of course, top of the food chain for Football University, Steve Quinn, Lori Quinn, Eric Richards. Wonderful folks here. The Collier County officials host this event. 4th down, throw to the end zone. It's low, it's incomplete. Prentice Jones Jr. looked to have a crevice. And that pass was in the range, and he had his hands on it.
At first, I thought it was a bad throw. That ball was thrown where it needed to be, low. Just missed it.
And a young man who's much ballyhooed, FBU Player of the Year. And 2 big moments in this game. He's trying to gut it out, too, because he has not been 100%, but 2 big moments offensively and defensively where it's just been off his hands. Utah moved early here.
They did, yep.
So a turnover on downs. It's 10-8.
Not how you want to start this series, where they really need to run the ball and run some clock here.
And I think what's lost in the shuffle, quarterbacks have run. SoCal's found a little bit more success with the offensive line, but how about the credit to the SoCal defense to not really allow that consistent domination to this point?
Yes, no, absolutely.
So, 1st and 15. Ball at the 11.
Same play, pitch right.
Rigby Young is tossed to Hayden Jarvis. Trying to get to the edge, but Tavish Howard, Jaden Jones, they're in the path. Jaden, the brother of Jalen, who's done the heavy lifting in the ground game. It didn't pick up much, maybe 2 yards. Utah just trying to melt a little bit of clock.
Yeah. I'm trying to flip the field a little bit here. Get a couple
maybe
first
get some
downs.
first downs.
Yeah.
Rigby Young calls for the snap. Holds off the delay. SoCal read it beautifully.
That's a face mask. That's an obvious face mask call. Yeah.
And a grasp that's going to take away all the hard work. Because right there, the grab by Kingston Jimerson is going to give 15 yards and a first down to Utah.
And that is why we teach kids not to arm tackle. When you throw your hands up there, whatever you grasp, you're going to hold on to it, and that leads to a face mask. And it's going to give them some yardage here to get the goalposts out of their huddle. Oh, 2 flags on him. Wow. That's 30 yards of penalties right there. That's not what you need right now, being down by 2 points late.
If there's anything to sink the ship, I mean, your defense is playing so well, and then boom, you have those penalties.
Yep.
Where things can get unraveled in a hurry if you're not careful, even if it's a 2-point game. So they were pinned inside the 10, basically, if that was not a face mask. And instead, with the fouls, they're out to the 37. Rigby Young hands it off, and it's a big hitter into SoCal territory. Bubby Keogh arrives on the scene.
Nice run. Gets vertical north to south. Gets squeezed through the hole. Just keeps his feet driving. Finishes his run. That's a good job of that young man there.
He's a bruiser. Get you 5 and 6 yards of pop. Hasn't been that easy tonight. Given name is Stein. Now they go to Prom. Different option each time around. 1,500 pounds of beef up top for that Utah line, and Prom busts a gash anyway. 2 huge runs after the 2 big penalties in succession tacked on, and they're at the SoCal 30.
Yeah, you're starting to see the offensive line get some push right now, and the running game is taking over, which is exactly what they want. Gain the yards, let the clock keep rolling.
And the pendulum swinging in Utah's favor. Once again, they can just eat up minutes. You had 5.5 remaining. I wasn't being facetious when they said, could SoCal even get the ball back?
Yeah.
Now, if you're Utah, you feel more comfortable adding points.
Yep.
A touchdown and the conversion makes it a 2-score game. Here's a swing with the run on the inside counter. Fonua, S.J. Fonua. It's popped up when they've needed a big play, either in the receiving game or on this semi-jet sweep. 3 first downs in a row for the Utah ground game.
Yeah, loving what the Utah OC is doing right now. He's got outside to the right, he's run off tackle, he's run up the middle, and now reverse coming to the backside. He's really keeping the SoCal defense off balance. Now they should focus, Neil. We're not snapping the ball until we get under 10 seconds, maybe closer to 5. We're taking our time. We have enough points to win. We got a strong defense, maybe a field goal, but right now you just want to keep running the ball and milking the clock.
Three receivers, pistol look. Jarvis behind Rigby Young. They toss to Jarvis. He's got an opening. Jarvis to the 10. Jarvis to the 8. 1st and goal, Utah. Brought down by Tavish Howard.
I know it's hard for young athletes at this age to understand, but if he had stayed in bounds here, it would have milked another minute off that clock. But the clock is rolling now. I guess they're calling him that he was stopped. His momentum was stopped before he got out of bounds, so the clock is continuing to roll here.
4 straight rushing first downs after the penalties. Now a tired SoCal bunch, and one that might be a little dejected too.
See a lot of hands on hips on that defense right now, Neil.
The closing stages of the 8th grade championship. 10-8 Utah knocking on the door with a 1st and goal at the 8. Rigby Young, Hayden Jarvis not going to run away from the pursuit this time. SoCal and Hanson McCuffey is in there.
And you hear a lot about, clock management right now. I don't know how many timeouts SoCal has left, but after this play, I might want to think about calling one. Just to get a little time left, hopefully get a stop. You want to leave some time left.
Well, they definitely used one down in the last series before they took that 4th down setup, which was a well-designed call. And just didn't execute. But we're going inside of 3 minutes here. Keogh's in the backfield with Young.
Got the edge.
They give to Bubby Keogh.
Oh, great
and
job.
Keogh's brought down in pursuit from behind. Jaden Jones. A nice play and a timeout.
Jaden Jones saved the touchdown there.
SoCal will keep it 10-8. And that's the thing. If you can hold them to a field goal, and you still got a shot, keep it a 1-possession game.
Well, and plus with the score, knowing SoCal doesn't have a kicker, 5-point game makes a big difference because they have to score because they don't have a kicker anyway.
And if you get a touchdown and a conversion, it's basically ball game for Utah.
Yep.
2:45 remaining.
And for those fans that watch a lot of high school, college ball, pro ball, the clock will not stop at 2 minutes left. There's no 2-minute stop at the youth level, especially with Federation rules. So the clock will keep running past that 2-minute mark.
Workman's legs staying loose. Out of the timeout. Bubby Keogh's going to be in that backfield with Rigby Jones. Stepanovich, Washington, the receivers. On 3rd and goal. It's a play fake. Young's going to throw it away.
It's going to be a defensive hold in the end zone.
The flag came out from the back judge.
Yeah.
Jalen Jones Jr. had fallen down. Now, there was no one around him, but let's see our replay.
Yeah, as he was running the cross route, I think he held him up. Yeah, that's going to be defensive holding.
And were they getting that on Preston Jones in the corner over there?
Yep.
Wow.
It's the right call.
.239 remaining. What a massive call.
Hopefully you're going to run here up between the tackles, but if your running back does bounce outside, you're telling them to stay in bounds. Do not let that clock stop. You really don't even have to score here if you don't want to. I know they want to, but just run the clock.
Not an automatic first down.
Automatic, old-fashioned wishbone here, Neil.
Rigby Young. The Beehive drive. Inside the 5 to the 3. Got a timeout. That's the last one for SoCal. I think Utah is a little confused too. They maybe were thinking that they had used all 3, but the officials confirming they had 1 remaining. So now, 4th and goal from the 3. Got the kicking game, but you keep it a 1-score game. When you roll the gusto, you take the points. You're trying to put the game away.
Well, so here's what the analytics say. Do we want to kick? It only puts us up 5. Then we got to kick off.
Then you got Preston Jones.
Exactly, Neil. So I'm thinking here, you're thinking we're going to score, or we're just going to have them have to go 99 yards on us. I know we work on special teams. I've been mentioning it the whole game. We've been talking about for both the championships, but, you know, it could be a block if you trust it, but really they don't need any more points here. They just need to have an extended field for the defense.
In this mentality, I would say go win the game.
Yes.
Go try and do it.
Yeah.
You've gone this far. 4th and goal at the 2. Rigby Young, the toss, outside run to the end zone, touchdown. KO Prom, and they will be dancing. Back in Utah, because they can sense an 8th grade national championship. 16-8, and the all-important extra point coming.
Possible 10-point lead, possible 2-possession game, but there's still 2:27 left. And we know we've seen Prentice Jones. He could score in a second, so not quite over yet.
Love the call.
Yes, do. So do I.
Utah is going to take a timeout. 2:27 on the clock. Workman for the all-important extra point that would make it a 2-score game.
Yeah.
And remember, Southern Cal is out of timeouts now.
Yep.
And what hurts you in that area, sure you can pick up first downs on the ground, but they haven't shown that they can move it through the air. But you just think of where this game was about 3 minutes ago and the penalties, those 2 in succession that took them out of jail, and then 4 big runs.
Yeah.
So when it's come down to the meat and potatoes and what Utah has done best out over the last 4 or 5 years was executed in the clutch moments.
Yes, absolutely. With their bread and butter, run the ball, ground and pound.
Took a long way to get there. leading 16-8, and here's Workman.
Very important PAT here to go up 9.
Utah players trying to hush their fans. They know the silence.
Good snap.
Could be golden. Workman.
Sends it. That's it. That'll
Good.
seal it. Yeah.
17-8. And these 8th graders from Utah, they know a 2-score lead with 2:27 remaining. SoCal out of timeouts. And the last piece of intelligence here would be kick it to Fort Myers, but not at Prentice Jones.
Yeah. Still a lot of time left.
And the coach is saying it's not over.
It's not over yet.
But very auspicious would be the best way to put it for Utah.
You know, they get a score, you do the onside. We've seen it happen. You know, Kansas City Chiefs been the most, let's say, lucky team this year, just finding different ways to win. But the game definitely not over.
Finishing making plays, and SoCal put together a marvelous third quarter.
Yeah.
That drive to get down there and then to get nothing.
That you look back at that, and that really hurt them, Neil.
They did get the safety, which made it a little closer up until moments ago. This is the squib drive, and it's still Prentice Jones. And Jones spins out of a few tacklers, and they get him down. So the damage limited after a 20-yard run for the FBU Player of the Year. And now it's SoCal's offense with 2:20 left.
Yeah, it's now up to Utah's been playing great defense this whole tournament. Defense, go win us a championship. Get a stop here, and we're going to end this thing in our favorite play, which is the victory formation. Be smart. We're not going to bite on any double moves. We're going to stay back, keep everything in front of us, get a pass rush, but they got to keep an eye on Burner, who has been killing them with tucking the ball and running the ball down the field. So cover 2 zone here.
The chant cheat defense. Bernor throws, middle, complete.
Nice pickup there. Nice
It's
route.
his man, Marcus Fisher Jr., and he's into Utah territory to the 35.
Yep. Right, nice connection there. Nice little slant route there.
Clock stops to reset the sticks.
And another free 5 yards.
Bernor called for the snap, but encroachment on the Utah defense. Waiting all game for them to hit a pass, and they do so when they need it most.
Yeah.
But moving the football between the 20s hasn't really been an issue.
Really
Can they get it
hasn't.
in?
Yeah.
Bernor. Little hook route. Finds his man on the outside with the hitch. Another first down. He goes again. Now he's going to run. Brett Bernor to the 10. Took a big shot going out of bounds, and that's going to move it further toward the goal line. How about this? In a matter of less than 40 seconds, they're inside the 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he was blocked into the guy. I don't think that was a late hit. If we see the replay, you'll see the receiver push the DB into the quarterback on that play. Watch here closely. Right there. That's close.
And I think that's an argument that Tracy Assi is willing to say, hey, what gives? Bernor.
And he's going to run it.
Running all the way, spins out of the tackle, then fumbled the ball. And it's 6 yards back in arrears. And saved by Jameson Stringer.
Oh, nice play. Literally punched it out of his hand on that. Great job by number 99 there. And the clock is rolling.
That's King Koloy, and Utah is calling timeout. Interesting. With a minute 23 remaining, so a little weird and wild sequence. Uzandu, by the way, had the last reception getting down here for SoCal before the Bernor run out of bounds.
So I don't know if they have it in. If I'm the coach right now for Utah, first of all, I'm putting my safety on top of Jones at receiver. So your best guy's not going to beat me. And I'm putting a spy on Bernor. I'm going to have my linebacker. You just stay. And if he leaves the pocket, you come up and crush him. Other than that, they should be covered everywhere else. But those are the two guys. Those are the only two plays they need to be aware of right now.
Now a group that very close.
Empty formation.
You got second and goal.
Oh, he ran the wrong route.
Miscalculation
Yeah.
and communication between quarterback and receiver with Uzandu. Third down.
The only good thing about that play, Neil, is it stops the clock.
Lots of personnel added to this Utah team to bolster the 8th grade group. They even got Paul Solia, the former Miami Dolphin nose, complimenting a great roster of coaches.
It's coming.
Close-knit group trying to close in on the title. On third and goal, Bernor runs to just preserve one more shot at it. He gets tackled in bounds. That's going to take off another 20 seconds. He was on the hustle from Fa'awatoa. And this is it. 1:12 remaining. SoCal needs points. It's kind of been the story of the game. They've moved it, haven't finished it.
Yep. Utah came with the middle linebacker blitz right up the middle this time. I think you'll see that again and tell your ends to stay outside and keep them in the pocket. See if they do it again.
Prentice Jones. He's in the slot on the near side.
You got a spy there. There he is.
Bernor sacked. Fa'awatoa. The final wrap up. And the celebration ready to commence.
Great defensive call by Utah. Good pressure up front. Linebacker sits and reads it. He breaks the pocket, comes in, makes a play. Boom, right there. Great job in position. Great tackle. And now it's time for every offensive coach's favorite formation and play. Victory formation and take a knee.
There's a new line of winning heritage that comes from the Wasatch front. And it's nothing short of spectacular what Utah and this group has managed to do over the course of the last 3 seasons. They were close in the 6th grade level. This group of young men will be part of the freshman class at 2025. Go back-to-back in the 7th and then rise up to the 8th grade to win the national championship on their return to South Florida. That range has twin peaks, and it's going to have twin trophies. The celebration on the Utah sideline. The Beehive Boys are the 8th grade FBU national champions.
Congratulations to Freddie Ortega and the SoCal team. Had a great tournament, put up a lot of points. And congratulations to the Utah coaching staff. They did a great job getting this team ready. They're well coached, they're talented, they're physical, and they've got themselves in 8th grade FBU NC National Championship.
John Fidesimanu, Rich Fonoti, Dustin and Ryan Stepanovich, Josh Washington, Ben Young, Paul Soliai, Jared Keogh, that group that makes up the leaders of these young men who win it 17-8. And they grind it out in the fourth quarter. And they make the winning plays and walk away deserved winners on a great day of FBU National Championships.
Absolutely. A great day and a great tournament. Neil, it was great working with you. Great being back in Naples. The crew did a great job. It's been a great week of youth football, done the right way. No drama, no adults, no parents causing issues, players playing respectfully. We're growing here at FBU with the 10U bracket, 12U bracket. Great freshman game you mentioned last night. We're looking forward to continue to build and expand our brand here going to next year. For you players that are listening or not involved, like, hey, how do I get involved in this kind of tournament? How do I play for my local city or state team? Go to footballuniversity.org. Reach out to us. If you want to form a team in an area, Arizona, some of the states don't have them, reach out, go to our website, contact Andrew and Matt, our sales guys, and let us know. And now the path for next year, Neil, starts right now. Go find some players, get yourself a coaches, get a team director, and be in this tournament next year instead of watching it on YouTube.
Anthony, you're a big part of, big staple of why this is so successful. The development of these young men, not only as football players, but people. So it's wonderful when our paths cross. Eric Richards, Steve Quinn, Lori Quinn, mentioned that, our great prep spin crew. But we see Utah and their celebration. And how about this traveling fan base, too? All this way to come here in Naples right before Christmas, and it's going to be a celebration heading back to the Beehive State.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good for those parents. Great time for these kids. Going to have a great Christmas. And once again, they won't remember the score. They'll remember their champion, but they'll remember the experience they had playing against this rock-solid SoCal team, playing against teams from other states, and prepare them for that transition to high school now, going forward and in the recruiting process. So FBU, we're here for them. We're developing players on and off the field to be great players, but more importantly, be great men off the field of high character and great integrity. So we're happy with the brand and what we're doing here, and we're just going to keep making it bigger and better. And once again, I appreciate you coming down after 1 hour of sleep and doing college basketball yesterday. Appreciate the team here. I love coming up here and doing this.
It's been a blast being a part of it for the last decade and a half, and going back to San Antonio, it's always a joy around this time of year to see these great young men participate across all different levels of the football landscape and nurturing their future careers. So we've got great personnel in place here on the path to Naples down in Southwest Florida, Collier County. We thank you for watching here on our FBU YouTube channel. We wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, a Happy Hanukkah. Enjoy the holidays. Utah, the champs in the 8th grade level, 17-8 winners. A walk-off win in the 7th grade, Central Florida over Ohio, and DFW East wins the 6th grade championship earlier today with a 31-0 win. So for Anthony Williams, I'm Neil Sika and our great prep spin crew. We thank you for watching. Utah, the champions in the 8th grade national championship. We say good night to Naples. From Naples, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Rigby Young to the outside. And he got a big second and what becomes 6. Young on the rollout. Young again using the legs. Young to throw with time, got hit, tossed it up, got his man. Young to throw with time, got hit, tossed it up, got his man. Have made the mark. The kick is bobbled after Workman sent it down. A big field with him. Bernor, the pocket breaking down. He got out of it. Bernor got out of it. He's still going. What an electrifying run. Bernor, who's near a first down. Complete junk into a jewel for the after they had a healthy drive. This is a healthy run for Jalen Jones. First down, and Jones Jr. involved. Bernor looks that way. And now he's going to be taken down. See some pressure. Got a low snap. Looks with nothing open except the crease to the end zone. Brett Bernor. See some pressure. Got a low snap. Looks with nothing open except the crease to the end zone. Brett Bernor. SoCal kicking off. Hayden Jarvis, second return. The outside, there's a flag in the backfield with the run by Fonua. S.J. Fonua in the base defense, SoCal. Rigby Young doesn't like what he sees downfield. Shows this is going to be a leg. Trailing 6-3, thrown into traffic, but only.
It turned out pretty good here.
Young going up top, tipped, then caught.
It turned out pretty good here.
Young going up top, tipped, then caught. No doubt about that. Low snap, Burner, tough hold. And there. Mila Leyu, who throws it up for grabs. Could have been intercepted. Sixth grade title game a couple years ago. Seventh grade champs last year. Rigby Young hung in the pocket, delivered it late. It's incomplete.
A lot of fans, Neil yelling for pass interference. That's instant contact. Feet got tripped up. They're not going to call that as pass interference. Love the play action, though. Great play action by Riley, showing the fake, coming out, waiting for that receiver to clear. Just missed him because of the trip.
Fonua was the intended target. S.J. Fonua down the middle here with 3:20 remaining in the half.
And Neil, this is where I'm going to share my next coaching
here with 3:20 remaining in the half.
And Neil, this is where I'm going to share my next coaching.
Swings to the flat. Tuiagamoa. Off he goes, but so came the flag. Starts the run. Initially saw that coverage break. Bernor again. Starts the run. Initially saw that coverage break. Bernor again. Surely a hold. It's also an interception on the late throw. Sloppy back half of the second quarter. Young has been the meal ticket, just lugging it along. And a halfback throw. Up in the air. Intercepted. The receivers near side. Bernor fakes to Jones. Gashing out to the far side off tackle. Here in this championship game. Bernor running all the way. Give to Jones. Jones tried to pop it out. Cal's had the ball this entire third quarter. They go Jones. They pull a few more. He spins out of 2 tackles. Jones to the 5. Jones still going. Jones out at the 2. Championship. Brett Bernor. Jalen Jones.
Great cut.
Championship. Brett Bernor.
Jalen
Jones.
Great cut.
Championship. Brett Bernor.